show at San Diego Comic-Con 2017. Here at the IDW booth with Arvind, Ethan, David. Arvind, how you doing?
Very well, sir. How are you?
Little tired, little hot. It's it's the
so you need a white jacket that keeps you cool.
That's the secret.
That's the secret.
Okay,
it's working for me.
So let's start first of all with Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. So talk a little bit about that to the few who may not have heard about it, and I do mean few. Go ahead and tell them about it.
Well, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency started its life as a series of novels by Douglas Adams, but is now a hit show on BBC America and on Netflix internationally, and also a series of comic books. And I write the comic books, and I produce the television show, and it makes me very happy. That's my little bit.
Now, it's not the typical detective
it really
story.
Isn't.
Yeah, go ahead, tell him.
I mean, Dirk Gently is what he describes himself as a holistic detective, which means he doesn't bother with clues or hard work or police methods. He kind of just wanders around doing kind of whatever until the universe points him where he needs to be. And so he's like the opposite of Sherlock, except he does seem to get stuff done.
Yeah. So when you write the stories, I mean, how do you come up without the obvious comparison? It's another Sherlock Holmes. So how do you come up with stories?
Well, I think the great thing is Dirk himself is such a phenomenal character. There really is nothing like him in literature. Douglas Adams famously said, there is a tradition of great detectives in literature and on the screen. Dirk Gently does not belong to it. And so he's like the anti-detective. And what we do, both in the comic books and the show, is Dirk is the sort of agent of chaos. And he turns up in the life of this fella, Todd Brotzman, played by Elijah Wood, who's a very sort of everyday, so you think, button-down American guy. And then Dirk turns up in his life and really completely upends it. And part of the fun of writing the stories is to introduce this agent of chaos into ordinary circumstances. So everything feels, every case in each series of comic books is one case, and each season of the TV show is one case. Seems like it's a normal thing. Maybe it's a murder, maybe it's a missing cat. But within about 3 pages or 10 minutes, you're in the land of time travel and mind swapping and soul convulsions, and you're in somewhere else. And so Sherlock doesn't do so much with the soul swapping, last time I checked.
Yeah, so see, we told you it was a little bit different. Now let's jump on that with the great Douglas Adams. You were pretty close with him, no longer with us, unfortunately. But how much of the stories, how much is still Douglas Adams and what he came up with?
So Douglas wrote 2 Dirk Gently novels, and what we've done is essentially write the sequels. So we didn't want to retell Douglas's stories because who could tell them better than Douglas?
Yeah.
But what was obviously sad was the fact that he died 16 years ago now, but he died young, and it felt like this was a character who could go and go. And I know Douglas himself felt that. I was very lucky. I worked for him. I started my career adapting this as a stage play when I was 17. So, last year.
Yeah.
But I know he always felt that there were more adventures. And when he died, he was writing the 3rd novel, which was to be called The Salmon of Doubt. And so we actually, you can see, we took that title and we've made the comic books The Salmon of Doubt. So in a way, we're trying to finish what he started. And we see each new series of comics and each season of the TV show as a new novel, as novel 3 and novel 4. And hopefully 5 and 6 will come. So the character is very much who he created, and there are a lot of themes, and the tone is very much Douglas Adams' tone, but the adventures are all new adventures here in America.
Yeah, and for those who may not know, you are being very respectful to it because you are working closely with his estate to make sure it is respectful to what he came up with.
That was very important to me. Listen, my career literally started with Douglas Adams. I met him when I was 16. He was an important figure in my life. So when the estate came to me about 3 years ago and they said, listen, we're thinking of rebooting Dirk Gently, and would you be interested in doing it? And Douglas always liked you and liked your take on the character. I was like, yes, I would be so honored to do it. But the first thing I did was I called his daughter. I called Polly Rocket Adams, and I said, I want you to be okay with it. And she was like, sure. She was like, go. Yeah. So then we went, and then it was good.
Yeah, because I assume at that point it would be like it's a member of the family asking, like, hey, can I? So
I mean, look, I don't want to overstate. He was more important to me than I was to him. I was a kid, and he was a world-famous novelist. But I think there was a trust that was built up over the years, and so, for better or worse, I'm the guy the Addams family trusts to take Dirk Gently on new adventures. And
are they out now, or are they?
The books are out every month now. This is the trade edition that's just come out, and you can see them here, collected there. If the camera could pan over, and the TV show is available on Hulu from the 23rd, and season 2 starts in October. So it's all more Dirk Gently than you can eat, coming to every platform near you very soon.
So for the fans, and there's a lot of them, tease a little bit what they can expect in season 2.
Well, here's what I'd say. If you thought season 1 was strange, we are leveling up for season 2. We are taking up the weird, we're taking up the adventure, and I think it's safe to say no one will expect where we're going. But we're going to give a little sneak preview at Hall H on Sunday, and then we'll release a scene to the world after that. So it's coming very soon.
Yeah, so those of you who are here for the Hall H, you know what it is when you're watching this. Now, we are at San Diego Comic-Con, where we get a lot of surprises, some planned, some not. Besides this, do you have anything else that you can talk about?
Well, I'm also working on, my rule is basically work with your heroes, and Douglas Adams was one of my heroes. Another one of my heroes was a guy called Mike Carey, who's a comic book legend who created Lucifer and Unwritten, and I have actually, with Mike, created this new series called Darkness Visible, which is a series, strangely, about another supernatural detective. Although this one, Detective Daniel Aston, is a little more serious than Dirk Gently. And Mike and I have created this world. It's an alternative history London, a world where demons came out of hiding, came out of the shadows 70 years ago, and have become now part of society. And we make this book. It comes out monthly from IDW. These gentlemen are the artists here.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello. Hi, I'm Levia Remendelli.
Brendan Cahill.
They draw Darkness Visible, and Mike Carey and I write it, and it's a kind of a very dark, sexy sometimes, sexy stuff in this book. On a world of demons and darkness. And I think it has its funny bits, but it is a much darker world than that of Dirk Gently. But Dirk Gently has its darkness too.
For you guys, what's more fun drawing, the sexy or the scary?
I've got to have both, which is why I do this book.
Scary. Okay. Well, hey, if it were.
No, it's great, and they're often both at the same time, which makes it super fun.
Okay.
I kind of probably prefer the scariness because I feel more comfortable drawing that, but I'm not as talented as this gentleman. So.
Yeah, nobody is.
But the mood of the book is just so fun to do anything, really. So.
It really is.
Tell me what you said about that one. It was the most...
What did I say?
You said it was the most that you had ever drawn in a comic book.
This is the most erections I've ever drawn in a comic in this book right here.
Definitely not safe for
He did say NSFW.
I'm sort of surprised that nobody stopped us from doing this, which is great.
There was that brilliant moment about issue 4 when I think Peter suddenly went, oh, do we have to put a for mature readers sticker on this? I'm like, dude, let's be clear, the defining image of this book is the one that Brandon drew.
Yeah.
This is in issue 1. So I think they should have seen what was coming pretty early. The long discussion about how much of a demonic vulva are we comfortable showing on page 3. So that's where we were.
Now, where does this come from? All of this.
His childhood.
No, when you draw them, I mean, where? Yeah.
I mean, really, in this case, this, I believe you had a pretty clear description of it in the script. And then I just sort of, hacked out a little bit, and we sent some stuff back and forth.
I mean, one of the challenges of writing a book about demons is everyone thinks they know what demons look like.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to ship up the everyday demons.
Right.
And so finding a new, some new physiology was important. Also, demonic vulva.
But yeah, no, there are definitely plenty of parts in this where the writers have real specific ideas for the kinds of demons they want to see or the kinds of features on the demons, and then sometimes it's just like, and there are more demons here, and then I just go crazy and do whatever. But something like this was pretty planned out.
Okay. So is this one available here in San Diego, or is it out already?
Right here before you.
Okay.
Yep.
We got a convention exclusive number 5.
Available only here.
Only
It's
here.
a convention
Yes.
exclusive. So for all of you guys, I mean, do you have websites, social media where you want them to follow you? And
Yeah, I'm BrendanCahill.com. It's just my name.com, and BP Cahill on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm LevioRamondelli.com, and then on Instagram is the same thing.
I think you
So.
need to spell it.
It's super Italian. It's Livio Ramondelli, Ramondelli. So good luck.
I'm Arvind David from the IDW host booth at ArvD. I've turned strangely into the host of this show. Have you noticed how that? I'm sorry, Henry.
Live from
I
Comic-Con.
didn't mean for that to happen, but.
oh, that's fine. I'm tired. Go ahead, take it over. But thanks a lot, guys. That's a lot of fun.
Thank you. Super fun.